Hi there, Shasha Andrews here, and we are about to talk about the Portugal and Ghana game with Kerr in our World Cup Minute. But before we do that, we also want to hear from our fans and hear what they have to say about that lineup, about that game. Some interesting players who will not be playing with us this time. Cristiano Ronaldo is rumoured to be ill. So let's first hear what Dylan has to say, then our fans.
I watched the first half, and then I had to go somewhere for the second half. And when I got home after 10 minutes, I'm seeing that Saudi Arabia 2-1 up. And not only were they 2-1 up, they actually stopped Argentina, who've on paper, have got one of the best teams and the most fancied teams, and to win this World Cup. But I mean, I'm delighted, and I just read 10 minutes ago that the King of Saudi Arabia has made it a public holiday tomorrow for the country. So you can imagine the euphoria that's going on in Saudi Arabia now, compared to the humiliation down in Argentina. The first time they've been beaten in 36 games. I mean, it's frightening. But I've often said this to people: this World Cup is different from any other because teams have not had 3-4 weeks to prepare. They've not had 100%. Any time to get together. It's straight from the Premier League, straight from the Bundesliga, straight from the Liga, and they go straight into camp and get ready for the World Cup. And who would have thought that England would have beat Iran 6-2? I mean, it's unbelievable, but it's great. The first games I've seen, I'm really excited. I put all the politics to bed. I'm not interested in LGBT. I'm not interested in, whether you've got a rainbow shirt. I'm interested in football. And I think on the football field, it's been very, very good.
Yeah, it's kind of like what the Senegalese coach said. He said we had a good team on paper, but you don't play on paper, you play on grass.
Yeah, 100%. At the end of the day, it doesn't matter how many percentage that Argentina had, how much ball possession they had. The fact is that they got beat 2-1 by Saudi Arabia. Now that's put them in a tricky position because they lose the next one.
Yes, then they are 100%. But what I think it's also done, sorry, Dylan, what I think it's also done is that it's given the underdogs, a lot of African countries, a lot of confidence to say we can take any of these teams that are coming.
Well, unfortunately, I didn't watch the Senegal game last night because we had load shedding down here. But I watched the Tunisians. Play today, and I thought, what it was a 0-0 game. But what an entertaining game. It was end-to-end from both teams. Tunisia edged it in the first half. Denmark edged it in the second half. But the atmosphere from the Tunisian fans was just, it was unbelievable. That's the best. I think they put the English to shame, because, they were very, very vociferous. They were very noisy. With every attack that Tunisia, the fans got behind them. And like I say, it gives Ghana an opportunity. It gives Cameroon an opportunity. Japan and South Korea, they'll be fancying going into the first game and getting the 3 points, and that's what's important. And going on past World Cups, the first 4, 5, 6 opening games, they've been drab 0-0, 1-1 games. Now it's like everybody's going to attack, and we're going to get goals, which is better for us.
Yeah. What I'm finding also really interesting around how football is being played in this World Cup is that the players that you expect to be the shining stars are not. It's almost like they're taking a back seat and allowing other players to shine. I mean, Saka, on his debut, scored 2 goals, which for England, which was unheard of. We've never seen that. It's really, really nice to see.
Especially, since he missed that penalty in the Euros, it was very,
100%.
very nice to see. It'll do his confidence the world of good. I don't know if Iran are going to be a threat to Wales or the USA. I actually did call the results yesterday, and I did say England would win, not by 6-2, but I did say Holland would beat Senegal 2-0, and I said that Wales and the US of A would draw 1-1. So I picked them ones. I didn't pick the 6-2 for England. Unlike that lucky punter in England that put, I think, £100 on them and won £20,000.
That's incredible. Oh my gosh.
To win 6-2. I mean, who would put £100 on England to beat anybody 6-2? And 20 grand.
So maybe it is coming home.
Exactly. So I said there's going to be lots more surprises. There's going to be lots more shocks, and like I say, it's good to see that, all the hype and all the, the expectations of what could go wrong on the football field is not. And unfortunately, we've had some really bad head injuries.
Yeah.
The goalkeeper yesterday for Iran, and the defender today for Saudi Arabia.
Yes.
We're talking 14 minutes injury time and 12 minutes injury time for today's game. But the competitiveness, I think it's World Cups, a betting fantasy for football fans all over the world to go out there and say, right, this is going to be a win. This team could pull an upset.
100%.
Like Saudi Arabia. And who knows, Saudi Arabia might win the next two games, qualify for the next round, and they could have a week off. The government, the king might give them a week off.
Oh my gosh, I'm quite looking forward to seeing what's coming up next. But our immediate game is the Portugal and Ghana game, that fixture that we have going on. So what are your predictions there?
I'm going to go for Ghana, and I'll tell you why.
Really? Portugal are the favorites.
I think, Portugal are the favourites. But unless Portugal pick the right team, right, and with the right players and the right balance, you're going to have a lot more individuals. And it happened in the Euros. There was a lot more individuals and team players, and that sometimes goes against them. And because of reputations, because of high expectations, you've got Bruno Fernandes, you've got Ronaldo, two players that in the Euros, and when I did the Euros with Neil, we were watching these games and it didn't click.
Yeah.
So I'm going to go for Ghana. I think Ghana, have not got a bad squad. They've earned the right to be there. They beat Bafana to reach the finals.
Yeah.
But I think on the day, Ghanaians are very, very difficult to beat. And if Portugal haven't picked the right 11, I think they're going to struggle. And I hope they prove me wrong, because obviously the stars to the line that the Portuguese have got, with the stars that they've got, most of them playing in the top leagues in Europe, everybody fancies them. But I've got a sneaky feeling that Ghana could cause an upset.
Yeah, I read somewhere that Ronaldo might not actually be playing in the first Portugal game, which gives Ghana a big chance, to capitalize on the fact that one of the star players is not playing. I
think if you're a coach, you're looking at the things that are happening in the world of football at Manchester United and with Ronaldo, I think you'd want him to play, because I don't think his mindset's going to be there. And I think Ronaldo now, on the other hand, Ronaldo could be sat in his hotel room after watching Argentina and got beaten, watching Lionel Messi have not a good game. Then, if you're a betting man, go put your money on Ronaldo to be the top goal scorer. That's how crazy this football world is. Because Ronaldo's one ambition is to get one over on Messi. I think he'll retire, if he can do that. if he gets golden boot in this competition. There's some strange sequences out there. It's good. It's good for the football world. It's good.
Yeah, it definitely is. And I think that friendly competition that they have between them, although it is deep competition, but that friendly camaraderie just brings so much life to the game. So I'm quite looking forward to watching it. I'm quite looking forward to seeing how Ghana, put up against a very strong Portugal side. But Ghana also has a very strong side. And, on the back of all these upsets that we're seeing, I think they're just going to really go out there. And also we're playing essentially on the African continent, so Africa is going to want to bring it. I've been saying
100%. Like I say, nobody's a favorite. There's nobody going to say that, England are going to win it, Brazil are going to win it. Everybody, Gavin Hunt, I speak to Gavin quite a lot. And he put his house, his car, even his wife, he put on Argentina winning the World Cup. This afternoon, when I sent him a message, he says, "Thank God I'm not married."
I don't think we should be putting it out there. He's going to be getting some sneaky DMs in the evening after this goes out. That is not what we want to see. We want to see people putting their money on Topbet and not on Gavin Hunt.
No. Don't ever listen to Gavin Hunt.
All right, Dylan, thank you so much for this World Cup minute. Looking forward to chatting to you about the Serbia game in our next video.
Yeah, that's going to be a tough one because again, everybody's expecting Brazil to win. And an interesting comment today was, I see somebody's questioning what goalkeeper is going to pick. Whether Neymar plays or all these fantastic players, it's which goalkeeper he's going to pick. When has Brazil ever had a good goalkeeper? They've always been, that's the one position that's always let Brazil teams down. But now it's who's going to be number one, which I say again and again, the Serbians, they're going to be very strong and very, very physical. And again, they'll look at the Saudi Arabia result and say, yeah, listen, let's be aggressive. Let's get into them. Again, it's a close call to make. And that's why I said, people bet now have got bet thinking what could happen may happen and take the gamble and go with Serbia, go with Ghana. And I think a lot of people wouldn't have expected today's result against Argentina in any shape or form. But they've opened the gates for all the lower ranked teams to possibly do well in this tournament.
Well, since we're already talking about Brazil and Serbia, what are your predictions there? Who do you think is going to take it, and who would you put your money on?
Again, it's difficult because the expectations of Brazil, is going to be they're going to win it. Everybody doesn't fancy Serbia. But you've got to look at the Serbians. They're very strong. They're very physical. They're very one-dimensional. The Serbian players, they play a lot of high balls. They play put a lot of crosses in the box from free kicks and from set pieces, and that's a weakness of South American teams. Yeah. They haven't got that presence to defend as good as European teams. But you look at the other side of the coin, they've got the talented players, they've got good players, they've got world-class players playing for them. So, I'm going to go for Brazil. I think, again, the Brazilians will be happy that their rivals Argentina have got beat. So I think to get one over on them, they need to win that opening game. So I will go for Brazil. But again, you can't say that Serbia haven't got a chance. This World Cup is open to everybody.
It's predicted that Serbia will play the 3-4-1-2 formation, which is, quite interesting because previously that is not the formation that they've played in a World Cup. And Brazil is predicted to play the 4-2-3-1 formation. Do you think how the teams are structured and, against each other will make much of a massive difference, or is it all going to come down to talent in this game?
I think that's a good question, because if you look at the Saudi Arabia and Argentina game today, I'm watching the first half and I'm thinking if they can time their runs right and stay on side, that would have been a 4. That could have been 4-0 at half time. And unfortunately, just a centimetre makes VAR, you're offside. There was one where Messi was offside. His forearm is just an inch in front of the other, but his feet are actually behind the defender. So they're saying, well, surely it's his feet that are scoring the goals, not his arms. And then in the second half, the coaches said, right, let's be a bit more organised and let's go and play. And they did. I said, when I watched the last half hour, they soaked up the pressure and they countered. But they got the 2 goals that they needed. And I said, now the Serbs, the coach have done the homework. He'll pick that formation 3-4-1-2. At least he's going to go with 2 strikers. Iran and England last night, Iran didn't have a striker in the first half. And you're thinking, well, where's the goal going to come from? Bit of a loss of concentration from England to concede those 2 goals. I think they didn't need to concede those goals, but I think with the Serbians, he's got to use his height, he's got to use the power, which is what Serbia is all about. Yeah. The arrogance, that's a good thing in football. You've got to be arrogant on a football field.
Yeah.
And it's, who doesn't want to lose the game that will win the game?
100%. And speaking of, I didn't want to bring this. Bless you. I didn't want to bring this into this discussion, but I'm going to bring it anyway. In terms of VAR.
Yeah. Don't get me started.
Yes, I know. And this is why I don't want to bring it into the discussion. But it has become a massive factor in how we play the game. Do you think that if we didn't have VAR, we'd have, I don't want to say a better quality of game in terms of, the flow of the game. But do you think that VAR has kind of ruined the game for viewers, or that it is fair that players, are seen for what they're doing on the field?
I'm still bamboozled with why Ecuador's first goal was chalked off. I'm still bamboozled how Argentina got a penalty today for something that Harry Kane didn't get yesterday. It's consistency. It's having people be consistent. That's what it's there for. And I still, I've looked at it 10, 15, maybe 20 times, that first goal Ecuador scored. You cannot see where that ball came from. When it was played, he was onside. Did the keeper touch it? Did it hit the blonde-haired striker of Ecuador? Did it hit the striker next to him? There was no conclusive evidence, but they gave it offside. Today, there was an incident at the last minute for Denmark against Tunisia. The referee, I thought, was spot on. He didn't give a penalty. It was hard. It was an hard ball that he didn't see it coming. It hit his chest and hit his arm. And people say, well, it's hit his arm. But, you've got to, it's common sense, and there's no conversation now in shops, in restaurants, in bars, in clubs, where in sports grounds, you score a goal, you're going to have to wait however long for VAR to check it.
Yeah.
And Argentina, will feel hard done by, because they scored 3 good goals. The linesman's there to do his job. If you don't want a linesman, get rid of linesman. He's there to do a job. It's a human error. That's what football's been all about. And like I said, if it's consistent, if they get the decisions right, like Harry Maguire should have had a penalty yesterday. He was absolutely dragged down to the ground, worse than what the Argentinian was today. But they gave it today. They didn't give it against for England. So it's just, you just want it to be right. It's there for a reason. It's got to be done right. And like I say, it's the proof is in the pudding at the end of the tournament. If the World Cup's won and lost on a VAR incident, then that could open another can of worms. Like you just want consistency. You want people to be told the real reason why he's being given offside. Yeah, fair enough, done. But if he's going to give an handball in the penalty box for one penalty and then he doesn't give it for another one, and the rules are if it hits your hands, it's a penalty. So it's like I said, at the end of the tournament, FIFA will sit down and I think they'll look back all the decisions, the right ones, the wrong ones, and they'll go through it so finely, to make this VAR stick and stay around.
And more consistently. They want that consistency, they want that objectivity. So once you make it more, it has to have like a rule book where you can say, did this happen, did this happen, did this happen, this is the outcome.
I would like to see players be in that VAR room. I think players have a better understanding of the game, right? So yes, the referee's got to make the decision so he can be there, but you should have 2 players with him. I don't know if it's done for the World Cup, but in the Premier League and in all it's not. There's no players involved in it. So a player's opinion is different from a referee's. A player's opinion is what a player would normally do. I think that's he's dove in, but he hasn't touched the player. He's touched the ball first. Where a referee thinks, he's touched the ball, but he's also touched the player. Yeah. But you need I think you need representation both from somebody on the field and some official.
Yeah, I agree 100%. I think it would boost the quality of the decisions that are made by VAR.
Yeah, I mean, let's say you listen to half-time commentaries and full-time commentaries. There was a goal yesterday. I'm not sure it was ruled offside, and I think Michael Owen made a point, and it was a football from a football's point of view, and it was my opinion too. but it was ruled offside. It was ruled offside. You know, officials are officials, but
Yeah.
you need that, you know, that little, you know, yeah, you need that player in there to give an opinion of, you know, from a defensive point of view. So you have a defensive player in there, and you have an attacking player in there. You know, so, but maybe that will happen. I don't know.
All right, so there you are, top bet punters. We have got this World Cup minute for you. We've actually covered both games, so you're welcome to play in any direction. But I will give you the boosts a little bit later after we get our fans to give us more commentary.
He's one of my soccer guys. He loves his football, and he's telling me what's going to happen in the World Cup. So I'm going to ask him now. Big Zippo, who knows the winning World Cup?
Brazil.
Ngoba?
Was in experience, good experience, yeah, and good players.
Who knows the first goal?
Rodrigo.
Uzobetha kuye uRodrigo la eTopbet.
Yeah, uzobetha kuye.
Hi Lopez, how are you doing?
I'm good, and you?
Tell me, what is the team that is going to make you smile during this World Cup?
I would go for Brazil.
And what makes Brazil the most superior team?
Yeah, you know, I like the most of Messi. There is Neymar. Those guys, they play soccer that I want.
They're very active, live soccer,
yes,
very tactical.
Yeah, they're very tactical, so that they can make it. I'm very happy that there's maybe a few injuries in that team. So I hope they're gonna make it.
Team ezowina kakhulu kwi World Cup, ithatha World Cup.
Angiboni iGermany siswami.
Nami ngithanda iGermany yazi.
iGermany siswami izongena.
Ngibona ungathi bane structure bayazi indaba zabo.
eQatar.
Yes, eQatar
Ziyoqala ngo-20 November.
Yes, uzabo.
Ziyogcina ngo-18 December.
That's right.
Izoyithatha siswami.
Uzoyithatha?
Yebo.
Oh, ngiyabonga ngibona isikhathi.
Thank you, kubonga mina.
Thank you. Amazing, and we just love to hear from our fans. So make sure that you register an account with Topbet so that you can get your hands on one of these amazing vouchers. We will help you a little bit to get your hands on our Topbet money. Thank you so much, Dylan Kerr, for that information, because that helps you place your bet. Win with Topbet.